Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles the Banter, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, man, we got a show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. Follow the channel, DREAMERSPRO, and follow the DREAMERSPRO podcast we have pinned below. Anyway, let's get into this topic here. Doc Rivers has got to be the luckiest man in the entire NBA. As you guys know, Doc Rivers started coaching with the Orlando Magic. And during his coaching years, he didn't play well. And I think Doc Rivers was part of that Orlando Magic team who was playing against I think it was the Pistons or the Pacers over 20 years ago, where he had Tracy McGrady and they had a lead, I believe, on the Pistons or the Pacers. I don't remember. It's so long ago, but I remember seeing the series. And he blew that lead. That happened under Doc Rivers' watch. Then he gets to the Boston Celtics. They're struggling. Then in the summer of 2007, they go out there and they acquire Kevin Garnett. They acquire Ray Allen to pair him with Tony Allen, Kendrick Perkins, and all of that. And that year they win 66 games. Now, when they got to the playoffs, it was tough. They had multiple 7-game series against the Hawks and other teams, but ultimately, when they got to the finals, they were able to be victorious over the Los Angeles Lakers. 6 games. I remember that because I remember me and this dude when I was back in New York. When the Lakers lost, man, he was like, yo, what up? Where you at? He was talking hella, you know what? Next year I couldn't find that dude. Then he ends up getting a coaching job with the Clippers, Lob City Clippers. And they had a lot of great teams with DeAndre Jordan, J.J. Redick, Matt Barnes at certain points, Blake Griffin, Chris Paul. And they always kept on, they always looked like a team that was going to get there, and then they would ultimately falter. Lob City didn't work. Then they get Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Montrezl Harrell, all of these guys. They get to the bubble. They beat the Dallas Mavericks in round 1. I remember all of this. Second round, they go up 3-1 against the Denver Nuggets, and they blow a 3-1 lead. We later found out through various players that, hey, Doc Rivers doesn't make adjustments. He's a coach that doesn't make adjustments. Everybody knows this. So what happens? He then somehow, after he lost his job with the Clippers, within less than a week, he got a huge contract with the Philadelphia 76ers. And at that point, we're like, man, Doc Rivers has to have the best agent in all of sports. Like, it's unbelievable. He gets a big job immediately. He goes to Philly. That doesn't work. Blow some more leads. Then he goes and starts working at ESPN. Then the Milwaukee Bucks announced that they're firing their head coach, Adrian Griffin. And I think they had the top 2 seed in the Eastern Conference at the time. And within hours of firing Adrian Griffin, we hear that Doc Rivers is being considered. And I started laughing. If you follow me on Instagram, again, my handle is CTABANZ. I was posting about it the whole time. I'm like, this cannot be real. This is hilarious. This is Saturday Night Live. This is impossible. Then hours later, we hear Doc Rivers has been signed. I'm like, how is this even possible? And the minute that happened, everybody in the NBA world had the same reaction. How is this possible? We were all laughing. But then I woke up this morning and I saw a very, very alarming stat. And I think this is bad news for Buck fans. And I actually saw it from, I believe, ESPN on my phone this morning. But before we even get into that, this graphic, this video is brought to you by our brand new sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting 2 entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks, and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. Prize Picks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So, for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about Prize Picks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And once again, once you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So I open up my Instagram and I see an image from SportsCenter and ESPN, and it has Doc Rivers, and I'm gonna show it to you guys. Take a look at it here. Doc Rivers record, Bucks record with Doc Rivers. The Bucks are 1-4 since Doc Rivers has gotten there. 1-4. And then I quickly went over to go look at the NBA standings. And I looked over at the NBA standings, and I looked at the Milwaukee Bucks, who used to be one of the top seeds, still one of the top seeds, have lost 2 games in a row. They're now the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. And they're a 500 team over the last 10 games. And I'm like, we got a problem here. Not for what's just happening in the moment, but for what could happen in the future. The Milwaukee Bucks, during this offseason, when they pulled off the Damian Lillard trade, everyone was talking about the Bucks are going to win the championship. The Bucks are going to win the championship. We all remember what happened this offseason. The Bucks. Now, some people were raising various alarm bells saying, wait a minute, they lost a lot of defense at the point guard position at the point of attack. Drew Holiday goes over to the Boston Celtics, and the Boston Celtics right now have the number 1 record in the Eastern Conference. And they're like, this is going to have an effect. That's going to have an effect. But now you have Doc Rivers. And there are a lot of people in media right now that have actually put less confidence. They're shorting. That's the word I was looking for. They're starting to short the Buck stock. They don't believe it's going to go up anymore. And a lot of that, and that sentiment, a lot of it was created the moment that they hired Doc Rivers. To me, this is not a good situation if I'm a Bucks fan. I don't know how the hell Doc Rivers got that job, especially that fast, given his track record. You've heard people like Stephen A. Smith go out there and say this is Doc Rivers' last chance in the NBA as a head coach if he doesn't get this situation right. And the Bucks are going to look mighty foolish if they fired a rookie head coach who hadn't even completed his contract to go get a decorated coach, and they end up having a terrible season when they fired Adrian Griffin. Although all the reports were that the team had tuned him out, blah, 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 and all of that stuff. But if they don't become better, you got to look at the Bucks management because they pulled the trigger on that. You also got to look at some of the players, Giannis and all of these guys. So to me, man, it's not fun times in Milwaukee. I would feel absolutely zero confidence if I'm a Bucks fan and Doc Rivers is my head coach. These are just my thoughts. So what I want to know from you guys is what do you make of Doc Rivers' 1-4 start with the Bucks in his 5 games? And do you think that they'll turn this thing around? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.